Read.
Bonjour, Ben, bonjour.
Oh, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Ça va.
Ça va. Comment m'appelles-tu? I can't remember what that is.
No, I blocked out French.
So did I, for very good reasons. But welcome back, everybody, to A Slice of Fried Gold. I'm Paddy.
I'm Ben.
If you're joining us for the first time and you're watching on YouTube, give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe to the channel, comment down below. If you are listening to our voices on Spotify, give us a 5-star review and comment down below. Mm-hmm. And if you are joining us for the first time, we always do a bit of pleasantries just to check in with each other and see if we're all okay. So with that, Ben, how are you?
Yes, I have got a spot on the inside of my nose.
Oh, the pain.
Yes.
Oh.
Do you know what I find worse is, yes, it's painful, but then it's easily irritated.
Yes.
And then, of course, you go to rub your nose because your nose is irritated, but then the whole of your nose is super sensitive.
Yeah.
So all day today, I've been like rubbing my nose and going,
oh.
You know, and in the film we've just been to see, I was sitting there going, you know, and so that's been fun. I think it's your Christmas present, you bastard.
What do you mean my Christmas present?
You bought me the nose whacker thing from Manscaped.
Oh, you're using it too close to
Obviously. It was just, caught myself in the mirror, saw a little hair, going, hello! So I got it just before I went to work. And obviously I've used it too closely.
Yeah, it's a delicate procedure as the male nose hair.
Yes. It'd be amazing if this episode was sponsored by Manscaped.
Manscaped. If you
Do
want
it properly.
Feel free. I mean, we already use the products.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I've had that to deal with.
Yeah.
I had an optician's appointment today, and I was in the waiting room, minding my own business, and the guy called my name, and I stood up, and he just went, "You're a lot taller." Stood up, and I was like, "Yes." For the viewers at home, obviously you can't see because we're sat down, but I am 6'3".
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Oh, you're a lot taller, stood up, aren't you?" I was like, "That generally does happen."
Yes. Sitting down tends to be a lower level.
There's not very many people who are the same height.
Yeah.
Though, who was it that was? I think it was a teacher. I'm trying to remember which teacher it was. But I can remember just once they came over to talk to me and, they're like, "Did that all go in?" And I was just like, "You're the same height as me when I'm sat down." And it was just like, she just looked at me and went, "So obviously you've not been listening to me because that's all you've been thinking about."
Wow.
But, it's just that moment is like, even as a gay guy, when when a female teacher came over to explain something and leaned over the table and they were just there.
Yeah. Can't help but look.
And can't help but not think about them. Like, even as a gay guy, I wasn't thinking, "Oh my God, they're so amazing, I want to touch them." I was just like, they're there. They're there. What do I do? Do I look? Do I not look? I
don't touch.
No.
That one used to go through my head.
I bet it does. So, it was just kind of a, yes, I am tall. Well done.
Yeah.
And, he also made a comment about how I'm dressed. Because, I'm in a Gryffindor hoodie and a t-shirt and jeans. Okay. And he was like, "Day off today?" And I was like, "No, my office lets us wear whatever we want." And he just kind of went, "Oh," and he looked me up and down as if to say, "You're allowed to wear whatever you want, and you choose."
And this is what you chose.
I was like, look, not every gay guy is good with fashion. We are not all tan from Queer Eye. It's okay. Some of us can be fashionably challenged.
Yes, this is true.
Talking of gay guys.
Okay.
There was a gay couple that lived next door to us.
Yes.
Or me, not us. Just me.
Yeah.
They've moved.
Yes.
And they asked me if I could use my car to block a parking space in the street ready for the moving van.
Okay. Yeah.
Fine, grand, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I put my car where they asked me to, and then this morning I moved it ready for the moving van. Mm-hmm. And as I was like sort of waving them, by the time I come home from work, you'll be gone. Yeah. They went, "Oh, thanks very much, Ben." How the fuck do they know my name?
How do they fucking know your name?
I don't know. Because I've only ever said "sup" to them. Because one of them is a prolific smoker, would be out on the balcony every other day. catching me sneaking off to the 24/7 off license to buy myself a bag of crisps and a bar of chocolate.
Yeah.
And it would literally, I'd be walking back and he'd be like, sup. And so that's all I've ever said to him. So when he was like, oh, thanks very much, see you later, Ben. Catch you on the flip side of, how the fuck?
Did they ever take in a parcel or post?
I don't know, don't think so.
Well, it's either that or your dad. He's heard your dad shouting at you.
It's either that or because they once talked to my mum after they had a blazing row with their neighbours, underneath, because of course they were in a flat.
Oh, yeah.
And my mum had to know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So unless she's then spoken and been like, our son Ben.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. But it was just that moment of, how the fuck do you know my name?
Yeah.
And then it just reminds me of the times when working in the hotel, and you give someone their key and they'd be like, oh, thanks very much, Ben. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know who I am? And then I remember I was wearing a name tag.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's...
Well, I had this. I had this the other day, and this is always my answer. And when I'm serving a customer and I don't know who they are, and they go, "Oh, are you Paddy?" And I go, "Well, that depends on the situation." I said, "If it's a good thing, yes, I am. If it's a bad thing, no, I'm not."
But yeah, I was like, if I wasn't on the way to work when they said, "Oh, thanks very much, Ben. See you later," I would have been like, "Whoa, stop! What the fuck? Rewind that shit." Doing Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just kind of like, what? But yeah, other than that, been fine. Work's busy. Standard
procedure.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Not that you can tell in this lighting, viewers, but I have had quite a considerable amount of beard cut out of me. It was, wow, I don't know about you, but I can understand now why women every now and again they go, I just want to have a short bob or something like that. When they have like really long hair and they go, I just had one of those days. I've got a lot on. I've got a busy couple of weeks ahead of me. I was just like, I sat at the barbers and was like, dude, just give it a good chunk out.
Yeah.
So I've gone back to like what would normally be the summer look. I instantly regretted it when the cold air hit my face. But it's fine. We roll with it. But yeah, just again, like you, busy. Assistant manager's back to work. Thank God.
Yeah.
Taking away weight off my shoulders. It's just counting down the days now until I'm off for some time. And you've got your time off as well coming up. We've had a busy summer, and I'm looking forward to just sitting down and finally playing Spider-Man 2.
How did your hairdresser take it when you were like, yeah, just go for it?
I just said to him, he was like, so you want a big change? I was like, yeah, I'll just, just take a good chunk out of it, I need to maintain it for a couple of weeks and things like that. I need to keep it smart for reasons. And I just don't want to be hassling with it.
Yeah.
And he was just like, fair play, we'll just take it down like we would in the summer. I was like, yeah, cool. I immediately know now that I'm going to grow it back out.
I remember once when I went into the hairdressers and I'd grown my hair out. Not to the, any length. But like my fringe was down to my lip. And the thing is whilst my fringe is down to my lip, I'm balding around the back. Thankfully, people on here can't see that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I went in and I just fancied a change and I was like, take it all off. Not bald, but went down to short spikes. And the hairdresser was like, but are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I want it gone. I'm done. And he's like, but are you sure though? And I was like, yes, I've told you. And then he because you know how they comb it and they put their fingers in and they're happy. And I was like, shorter. And he just went, but are you sure? And I was like, yes, do it.
Yeah.
And then he cut it and I instantly regretted it because I pushed even though my fringe was long, I pushed it back and it hid the bald spot. Yeah. And then I suddenly didn't have the hair to hide the bald spot. Yeah. And I was like, oh no, what have I done?
It was like every few months I'll go into the barbers and I'm just like, all right, that's it. Shave my head. I'm going to go skinhead. And he's just like, I've told you before, I will tell you when your hair is ready. Yeah. Because at the moment, if you want to do that, you will have to shave your head every day. Yeah. And I know you can't commit to that. And I was just like, I know, but I'm just sick and tired of it.
Yeah. I remember once watching a YouTube video and it was a gay guy giving hair advice.
Yeah.
and his comment was, you should change your hairstyle every time you feel like you've become too... what's the word he used? But when people could see your hairstyle and go, oh, that's Paddy. When you...
Oh, that makes so much sense, because I was walking to work in the rain the other day, and I had my hood up, and somebody the next day said, "Oh, I saw you walking to work the other day because I saw your beard sticking out of the hood, so I knew it was you."
But yeah,
so this YouTuber, it makes sense.
This YouTuber was like, change your hairstyle every time your hairstyle becomes too you and like you're too recognizable. And he's like, I recommend once every month. And I was like, bitch,
I can't grow a new hairstyle once every month.
Way too much commitment for me. Like, because my hair grows so slowly now, I go to the hairdressers once every 3-4 months.
Yeah. So I still find that bizarre that you do that.
Well, it's because it grows so slowly.
I know.
But yeah, when he was like, yeah, you should change it about once every month, I was like, fuck that, and a bag of chips.
Yeah, exactly. But Jonathan said that in an episode of Queer Eye when he had... You remember when he went through that phase of having his big curly moustache?
Yes.
And then, he shaved it off in the next season. He said, feel free to change up your style if you feel like it's wearing you more than you're wearing it.
I get that.
And that's kind of like the same thought process.
But whereas it sounds like Jonathan did it over a year, this guy was like, every month. And I was like,
no, that's too much. That's far too much.
I cannot afford the Turkish hair plugs that you, sir, apparently have.
This is very true.
Yeah.
But before we delve into the movie that we've just been to see, I want to quickly mention that, obviously, at the time of recording, yesterday was Halloween.
Yes.
Okay. So I watched Spooky Movie the other day.
Not Spooky Movie.
It was a very spooky movie, but it was only recently out, and we missed it in the cinema.
Okay.
And it's called Talk to Me.
Yes, we wanted to go see it, but it never lined up.
It never lined up, yeah. So it came out on Netflix the other day.
Right.
I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I am so upset we didn't see it in the cinema. Oh. It was phenomenal, babe.
Yeah.
We always end up going to see horror movies, and they always tend to be fucking shit.
Yeah.
Okay? And I feel like watching that would have been one of the very few movies that we would have both come out and gone, that was really good. There was some really clever cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like, sometimes it can be overacted. It wasn't overacted. I felt like everything in there, I literally couldn't fault it. There was bits I was literally sitting there and I was going, that was amazing. And I was just like, oh my God. And I was like on the edge of my seat at one point and things like that.
Yeah.
It was such a good film. And I recommend anybody that, I know this is a little bit late and this will come out after the spooky season. But if somebody hasn't watched it...
There's a spooky season every year.
Oh, yeah, but in everybody's minds, it's now Christmas.
It is, but there's a spooky season every year.
I know,
so they can,
But if you like horror movies and you haven't seen this one yet, or if you're if you fancy a change up in your normal scheduling of movie nights or something, I would recommend this. It was a brilliant film. And I am gutted that we didn't get to see this and see it at the time in the cinema, because I think it'd have been a phenomenal thing to see on the big screen. But yeah, I just want to bring that up quickly, because I felt like it needed to be said.
Fair enough.
Right, so should we talk the movie we've just been to see?
1 second, I want to talk about something as well. So, of course, yes, we've just been to see a film, but we went to see it on a secret screening that Cineworld likes to do. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to talk about that, because I want to see if we can theorise how they decide what secret films they're going to put out. Because this one wasn't a relatively well-known film.
No.
It's from the Cannes Film Festival, whatever.
Yeah.
But the film before this was The Creator, which they did a secret screening of the day before it released.
Yeah, that's how we saw it.
That's how we saw it. The film before that was...
Elemental?
No, Scrapper. We didn't go see Elemental on...
Oh, yeah, no.
Was Scrapper, which I saw without you.
Yeah.
A completely unknown film, never even saw it posted in the cinemas, not seen it streaming anywhere. So it's like, why do they choose such random films?
I don't know. Maybe it's because they... I've got one half true potential things,
Uh-huh.
which I overheard as we were leaving the cinema.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I'm clear, you probably didn't hear it then,
Nope.
judging by that. Firstly, this is obviously quite a small independent movie that lots of people wouldn't potentially see.
Yes.
And things like, and for like Elemental, as a good example, that was also one of the secret screenings, and it wasn't getting a good, like, tracking.
Yeah. And
So I wonder whether or not it's like one of those movies that that the studios have faith in, and they want maybe potentially using it as good.
See, I'm fine with them doing, this film we don't think is going to do well, so we're going to make it a mystery, we're going to hide it, make it secret, in order to drum up some form of ticket sales. Fine.
And publicity.
But then the creator, they knew the creator was going to do well.
Yeah.
Like, what, and so why did they choose the creator to be the previous one before this?
Yeah.
When they knew the creator was going to do well. You know, if they're worried about it being a film that's not going to do well, and they hide it behind mystery and hide it behind a paywall,
Well, yeah, exactly.
fine. But then when does it, like when they also did Dungeons and Dragons? Dungeons and Dragons did well enough, I think.
I think it only kind of just.
But
I think that doesn't take into, like, advertisement.
No.
But my kind of semi-true thing was, as we were leaving the cinema, a couple of what must be bigger film nerds than us mentioned that as we were leaving, when, like, as everybody knows, at the final end of the credits, it has, like, all the studio names and blah, 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 blah. And then as we left, another studio name came up. I heard Cineworld owns that company. So I wonder whether or not...
Maybe.
Because I said to you as well, was this an unlimited only, or was it an open access one? Which also makes me think of, well, if it's not just an unlimited screening one, perhaps when it's an open one, it's something to do with their business as well, maybe?
Maybe.
It would need more in...
unless that same studio was also involved in the creator then, because creator was an open one.
Maybe. We don't know.
You know.
I mean, technically, we know somebody we know somebody who knows somebody that's a higher up in Cineworld. So we can potentially ask and try and get an answer.
Maybe.
But yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't know if they go, they get 6 movies on a board and go, fuck it, we'll have that one.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Or, throw a dart at it kind of situation.
Because like that article I sent you, which was guessing which one the secret screening was going to be.
Yeah.
It wasn't a single one of them.
No, it wasn't.
You know.
But then I literally was on Twitter on the train over.
Yeah.
And I was just scrolling through, and I saw Cineworld's don't forget it's our secret screening tonight tweet, like a couple of hours before the thing.
Yeah.
Went on it, and a load of people were going, oh, I really hope it's this one. And it was this one.
Yeah.
And then kind of like plodding along, and other people were going, oh, I really hope it's the Marvels and things like that. If it's going to be, and somebody even said, I hope it's the Marvels. If it's going to be what we saw,
just say the name.
Oh yeah, fuck it, I forgot what's
Anatomy of a Fall.
I almost said Autonomy. Anatomy of a Fall. I'll leave. So it also proves that.
Do you think then they have like a load of films?
Yeah.
Like literally, they've got the reels ready to go, and then they look at like social media reactions, maybe.
Maybe, who knows?
Anyway, shall we talk about the film now?
Yes.
Whilst we've randomly gabbled about that.
Yeah. Right. So, so we've just been to see Anatomy of a Fall. From the initial trailer that we saw, I think I only saw the trailer maybe just before I watched Killers of the Flower Moon, maybe? Mm-hmm. Or maybe Five Nights at Freddy's. Maybe I saw it with you. I can't remember. But I'd only seen like the trailer once. And I thought it looked interesting. It was like, it's a French-based movie. It's based in France. Oh, well, yeah, it's based in France. But in the trailer, they speak English. So I kind of knew that it was going to be, I thought it was going to be all English. But I'd say, 50% of this movie is in French? Mm-hmm. I think that's a good estimate.
I'd say 30.
No, I feel like more of the court scenes were in French than
Yes,
everything else.
but then of course they completely swapped halfway through.
Yeah, true.
So
a decent chunk. Let's not go percentage. A decent chunk of it is in French. And we all know I'm dyslexic because Ben takes the piss out of me for it quite a lot. However, I didn't struggle to keep up with the reading of it as well. I felt like visually it was, you could tell it was a small independent movie because it was basically only 2 areas, 3 main sets.
yeah.
You know?
Whilst you didn't struggle to keep up with the reading, congratulations. Did you struggle when the subtitles were the same colour as the
snow.
As the snow, as the desk, as the screen behind them?
Yeah.
Even I was like, what does that say?
Care? It was like over white paper.
Yeah.
Care?
And it was like, come on, surely you've had an editor to watch this through and go, oh, that subtitle's over white paper.
We have the technology.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's outline that a little bit darker.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, carry on with your...
We'll put it in like yellow or something, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Carry on with your review.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was very good. I thought it was very well acted. There were bits that put me on the edge of my seat, and there were bits that I felt were slow. What was this movie? It was about two and a bit hours?
Yeah.
About 2 hours 20 or something. There was parts of it that I felt like it could have sped through, but it was very methodical. It went through everything, every little bit to give like you as a viewer, or in this part of it as like the court case, every little bit of information, which you would do is if you were sitting in a courtroom. So I enjoyed those aspects. And firstly, I don't know if that's how a French courtroom is, but it's so much more interesting than a British courtroom. I like the ovalness and like how they sat across each other as opposed to next to each other and looking up. I enjoyed that. Just saying, if that's how a French courtroom works, I like it. But I enjoyed this movie, and inevitably, like with popular movies, I feel like this in a year's time, 2 years' time, after strikes and everything else, we'll probably get a Hollywood remake. Because there was that one, and it immediately popped into my mind about halfway through this, is that there was that movie with Bryan Cranston when he plays like the quadriplegic, and Kevin Hart plays like the carer, and that was a remake of a French movie. So I feel like this is probably going to get the same thing, but slightly more dramatic. But overall, I thought it was a good film. I enjoyed it. I wasn't overly, I didn't lose interest. I paid attention all the way through. So for me, it's not movie of the year, but I thought it was a good time. I enjoyed it. I thought it was, and I'm not going to spoil the ending, but I thought the ending was interesting and how they decided to close it. Your thoughts, Ben?
Not as positive as yours.
I thought as much.
It was okay. You're saying good, I'm saying okay. I think, for me, stories have peaks and troughs.
Yes.
You have high-paced action scenes and your low, slow things. The problem with this film is the whole film, and you like to use this term, but this film, the whole film is a slow burn.
Oh, yes.
So, and I think the problem with that is because the whole film is a slow burn, and there's nothing wrong with having a slow burn film.
No.
But it just made the troughs feel really slow.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was sitting, whereas you're saying, yeah, it was slow, it took its time, I was going, this scene's not needed, this scene's not needed, this scene's not needed.
Yeah,
because it is a slow burn film. So I was much more critical on that front, like going, come on, pick it up. Not that it was a bad film, it was just, it struggled for me with its pacing.
Yeah.
Because it's a slow burn film, it didn't need those slow moments.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was a slow film. I agree with you, great acting, great storyline, good setting, well written, blah, 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 all that fantastic stuff. For an, as you said, for a small independent film, it looked very professional.
Yeah.
I would have preferred if they'd ended the film 10 to 15 minutes before they did.
I must agree
I
with
was
that.
really hoping they were, because I think, is it in the trailer that it's set in a courtroom and it's all about a murder mystery kind of thing?
Yeah.
Well, I've just spoiled it for people if it wasn't. Set in a courtroom, it's a murder mystery thing. I would have preferred if they'd done like Inception, where it literally ends at a certain point where you do not get a definitive answer.
You see,
and then it's open to the audience to say, this happened or this happened. I think I would have preferred that.
So after I had the same thought after I got out of the screen, I was going for a pee. I was having the same thought. However, I thought that was kind of already the ending. Because I felt like...
Yeah, but all the bits after that were superficial.
I don't know. I feel like that was like
the twist that comes at the last second was so obvious and everything. It was like if anything, it cheapened it.
I don't know. I mean that's obviously.
So I would have much preferred that the film finished 10 minutes earlier, was ambiguous, let the audience debate it. That would have been my directive choice. But hey, I'm not a director.
Well, yeah. But then I still felt like the first thing you said to American when we were sitting there was, so, do you think...
Yeah.
So I still think that has sparked the debate.
You have the debate there, yes, but the film does give a definitive answer. Whether you agree with the answer or not is another thing.
Well, that's
but yeah, so I would have preferred it to finish 10 minutes earlier. And also, whilst you're thinking it's going to get a Hollywood remake, I could easily see this on the stage.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
It had really good sort of dramatic beats and everything, which is very much of a. I keep trying to do that, but we're not there yet.
No. Sit on your hands, Ben. We're not doing final thoughts just yet.
It's because I fucked up. I was like, this could easily be a play, and it would work as a play. But once again, I would still want it to end 10 minutes earlier.
That's fair.
Just so people could then. I know.
But then you would, if it was a play, you would have had an intermission.
You would have.
So would it need to feel that way? If it's a 2 hour and 20 minute movie, an hour and 10 per act with a 15-minute interval.
It would have been a long play, but it's
it's not out of the realms of possibility.
I think Book of Mormon's about the same length.
Yeah.
So
we had an interval in that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it works.
Pacing.
But now, can we do that? The thing that my hands really want to do? Final thoughts. Spots in nose hurt.
They do. Don't always just go, I'll just trim my beard all the way down.
Yeah.
Especially in this weather.
When you're tall, expect people to react when you suddenly go from sitting down to standing up.
And if you're short, expect tall people to be tall when they stand up.
Yeah.
Expect everybody to be tall when they stand up.
This optician, I've never had him before, but he kept setting off my ASMR with his voice.
Oh my God.
And so it was kind of like he was talking to me, I was like, sorry, what? Because my ASMR, I know some people make it sexual and they're just weird, but mine calms me down.
Okay.
And so
that's how I calm you down.
And so it's kind of just like, what, were you saying something? And he's like, yes, your eyes have gotten worse. I was like, great, fantastic.
Marvellous.
Carry on talking.
Yeah. Talk to Me is a great movie. Definitely go and watch it for that. Anatomy of a Body. Anatomy of a Fall. But I'm tired, I want to go to bed. We've got an early start.
Yes, you do, and I can't wait to hear how much you suffer.
I will sleep in that car.
I know you will.
But yeah,
I really hope they're the kind of family that like blasts tunes and they will have a good old sing along.
It's not the whole family.
Well, whoever you're going in the car with, blasts tunes and has a good old sing along, little concert.
Yeah, that's.
And again, you used to fall asleep when I was doing that. So.
Well, exactly. I can sleep for anything in a car.
When there's a good driver.
Whatever. I can't even bother now. But yes, I enjoyed it. You thought it was okay. It would probably be a better play.
I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again anytime soon.
No.
And I won't be going into work and be like,
Oh my god, guys, I've just gone and seen this film. Go watch it.
No. But
you know.
I still enjoyed it.
And you're right. You're entitled to your own opinion.
Exactly.
Yes.
Mine is right.
I'm supposed to be the egotistical bitch here, and I didn't say that. Come on.
I know. I'm just annoying you. But anyway.
Try harder.
With that, everybody, thank you very much for joining us.
Comment down below.
Have you
Got any painful spots anywhere?
Have you trimmed your beard down?
And regretted it.
And regretted it. Did you watch Talk to Me in the cinema, or have you watched it since? What did you watch for spooky season? And have you watched Anatomy of a Fall?
Mm-hmm. What were your opinions? Let us know down below.
Exactly. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, share, comment like we've said, and if you are listening on Spotify, do please give us a 5-star review. You know you want to. And with that brings this week's episode to a close. Thank you very much.
And we'll see you in the next one.
See you then. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.